Okay, bariatric beauties and bariatric buddies, I'm back for part two of my 8 week post op update. Now, this is another thing that I've encountered in the last week. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who is preparing to go to a consultation for the surgery. Well, they've already been to a few consultations, but they want to go to another one. And they were talking to someone about it, and they were getting a lot of flack from the person for choosing bariatric surgery or allowing it to be an option. So this video, or this portion of the video, is for y'all pre-oppers and some of y'all post-oppers who are catching flack or who are struggling with the decision that you're either going to make or that you've already made for weight loss surgery. And, maybe even some regret. And to that I say, what is your why? Why are you doing this? And why did you do this? Like, what brought you to the point of feeling like bariatric surgery is an option for you? Now, me personally, with what I was dealing with and the decision I made, I felt like it was the best thing for me. But in order to be secure in this decision and move forward in this journey and not always feel like you have to justify yourself to people, you need to have a clear idea of what your why is. Why are you doing this? For me, I look at the fact that I was 25 years old at the time. I was 25 years old, weighing 299. Heck, I'm pretty sure that on a fat day, I was already 300 pounds. So, if in 25 years it took me to get up to 300 pounds, what could possibly happen in another 25 years? What am I doing that is destroying my life that I've allowed myself to get to this state? And yes, I tried years of diet and exercise, but I personally couldn't get a handle on it. So I knew that I needed some help, and this is why I chose this. So for me, that was my why. My why was my life. My why was, hey, I tried it on my own. I obviously have a problem. I can't get this weight off. And I want to live. I want to have a better quality of life. I want to be able to enjoy life. I don't want to merely exist. I want to live. And I don't want to live with all of these things that come along with being obese. So that was my why, and that was my reason for going into it. So, yes, I'm telling you, if you don't know your why and you don't know it clearly, like, don't have surgery because I had it. Don't have surgery because you on YouTube and you watching videos and you see people in smaller clothes. If looks and aesthetic is the only reason why you are doing this, that's the wrong why. And the reason why I say that is, yeah, everybody wants to look good, everybody wants to feel good, but my body ain't your body ain't my body ain't the next person's body. Now, granted, when I did start looking into the surgery, I'm not gonna lie, I put out there some questions like on Yahoo and different forums like, where the black girls at? Not that it had to be a racial thing, but I was looking for someone who had a body type like mine, who had been heavier and who lost the weight, just so I can kind of get a gauge of what I could possibly look like. Not what I will look like, because we also lose weight differently than we gain weight. So, yes, looks was a factor, but overall, don't let it be the base of your why. Let it be because it's something in you that really, really, really wants to change. Because if you don't have a good why, if you don't have a good foundation to stand on to go forward in this journey, you're going to find yourself being one of those people that's forever stumbling. Not that it's going to be easy, and even if you have a clear mind, anything that requires change in your life, especially when it's been habitual for so much of your life, it's not gonna be a walk through the park. It ain't gonna be a stroll through the tulips. You ain't finna be skipping under a rainbow with a pot of gold under your arm. It's gonna be hard. But when you have that foundation, you have that reason, and you have that thing on the inside of your soul that's constantly gonna push you to want to be great in this journey, then you can rock this. And as Miss Free Spirit says, not only will you rock it, but you'll make it your bitch. So, what is your why? Know your why. And if you post op and you've forgotten your why, think back. We do this thing at my church where we have a day called I Remember When, and we think about where we were in the past before we had a relationship with God and where we are now. And we rewalk ourselves in our mind through I remember when. So if you've lost your way on this journey, I just want to encourage you for a minute. Remember when. Remember where you were. Remember your why. And let's do this. Let's rock it. Let's put some steam in your engine, put some fire under that tushy, and let's rock this out. Remember your why. Um Also, along with your why, when you really have a clear understanding of why you're doing this, you will find that you don't have to justify yourself to somebody for why you're doing this. I listen to a lot of people who feel like they have to explain to everyone why they had bariatric surgery because people have that idea like, oh, you took the easy way out. And it's not an easy way out. It just happens to be an option. That's like, I live in Chicago. If I want to get to 95th and the Dan Ryan, I know that I could take the east side and I could take Main Streets. I could hop on 57 and I can get over once I hit 80, 94 and I can get back off over there. It's so many different ways that you can get to one destination. And I know some of y'all like, I ain't from Chicago, I don't know what you're talking about, whatever. I'm just saying that if you want to go somewhere in life, there's so many different ways you can get there. Don't let somebody make you feel bad because you chose to use a GPS instead of a compass. You got there. You did what you needed to do. And don't apologize for your journey. Don't apologize for wanting to live longer. Don't apologize for wanting to be healthy. Stop apologizing. Stop justifying. Stop making excuses because an excuse is nothing more than a reason stuffed with a lie. You did what you needed to do for yourself. You rock it out. You don't take no prisoners. You don't whine about it. You don't try to make nobody understand why you did it. Once I got to the point where I'm doing what I need to do for me, take it or leave it, people got off my back. And I promise you they'll get off yours. So, okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox now about your why. Another thing is do your homework. People often get surgery with particular surgeons because their insurance recommends that person or that person was affordable. If you really don't feel comfortable with this person, don't have surgery with them. Do your homework, do your research. I told my surgeon the very first day that I met him, and he asked me, was I planning on having surgery with him? I told him, I don't know. I need to stalk you first. I need to find out things about you. I need to know your success rate. I need to know your ranking in this region. I want to know if this center where I'm about to have the surgery at, are you just a weight loss center? Are you a hospital that offers weight loss surgery? Or are you considered a center of excellence? Because that is a bracket that bariatric facilities can fall into. You can be a general, um, what the heck is this on my arm? You can be a general doctor's office. You can have someone that knows how to do something. But you really want to try to find a place that is a center of excellence that has a good ranking in either the nation or in your region. So do your homework on your surgeon. With mine, I looked up how many fatalities he had. And out of every surgery he's done over 10,000 surgeries. He's only had, I'm sorry, why am I talking about 10,000 surgeries? He didn't know 10,000 surgeries. He did about 3,000 surgeries. Retraction, reverse. I got a little ahead of myself. But out of those 3,000 surgeries, he only had one fatality. And why was that fatality? Because after that person got out the hospital, that person went on a drug binge. So yeah, that's a good way to kill yourself. It wasn't his fault. That was the person's fault. Also, I looked at the statistics at the facility that I had my surgery at, and I also found out other facilities my surgeon had worked at, and I looked at his track record. I got in contact with some of his former co-workers and some of his former patients, and I asked them about his bedside manner and all that stuff. So basically, do your research, get to know this person, make yourself familiar with them. If you don't feel like that person is, not they have to be your best friend, not they personable, because my surgeon overall, he was relatively a quiet person, but that man know his stuff. When it came down to questions, if you can't answer my questions in a plain sense to where I can understand, then I ain't rocking with you. I'm not finna trust you getting up in my body because I really don't know what you're doing. Another thing is ask questions. When you are going to your pre-op visitations, when you're sitting with your dietitian or your nutrition, when you're sitting with that psychiatrist, ask questions. Don't be like, oh, I don't want to ask this question because it's going to sound stupid. We're talking about your life. We're talking about a surgery you're about to have that's going to remove, for me, 85 to 90% of a major organ. I'm gonna ask all the questions I want to know. I want to know everything but your social security number. I'm gonna be all up in your Kool-Aid. I'm gonna be stirring your pot. Do your homework. Do your research. Get comfortable. Get affiliated with the facility, the hospital. I wanted to know all the nurses. I wanted to meet the anesthesia person. I wanted to meet his alternate. I wanted to meet his assistant. And I met every single one of them people. And I asked them different questions. I found out what colleges they graduated from, what number they ranked in their class. And yeah, I'm a bit over the top, but at the same time, if I'm trusting you with my life, I gotta know what you stand for, what you about. I gotta know that you're not doing this so you can get insurance money out of me. I need to know that you're a person who genuinely, see, something is on my lip. Someone who genuinely cares about the people that they're taking care of, who is passionate about what they do. And what I did like at the facility I had my surgery at is the physician's assistant, the surgical nurse that we had, he had had bariatric surgery himself, he and his wife. And not only did they have bariatric surgery, the surgeon that performed my surgery, who is now the surgical nurse too, performed him and his wife's surgery. So I'm like, yo, if you trust your boss to do you and your wife's surgery, I rock with you. I freaks with you. So yes, do your homework. Get comfortable. Get affiliated. Don't be scared to ask questions. Don't be scared to reach out to your community. Don't be scared to put forums out there, because what I can say and what I do love about the weight loss community, whether it be lap banders, sleevers, duodenal switches, I don't know the other ones, I guess RNY, bypass, there are some people who are really, really open out there and who are willing to, support you and help you find your way. And if you don't know where to start with doing research, I'm willing to give you some tips. I'm sure other people are willing to give you some tips. So please do your research, ask your questions, get comfortable. And lastly, take advantage of the time. Take advantage of the time. I know a lot of times when we decide that we want to have bariatric surgery, it's like we be like that commercial. It's my money and I want it now. Like I want it today. And why I gotta wait a couple months? Why does my insurance have me going through a 6 month, 8 month, 5 month, mine was 3 month process? And sometimes we get overzealous and we get over anxious and you want to jump into something and we forget to take advantage, excuse me, y'all, of the time that you have prior to surgery to get this together, to get your stuff together. Take advantage of the time. If you are going to nutritional visits and your nutritionist is telling you cut this out your diet, stop drinking pop, or stop smoking, or start working out, start to do those things. Don't wait till it's 2, 3 weeks before surgery for you to really let it sink into your mind that, oh yeah, this is not a quick fix. This ain't no microwave situation. I gotta put this bad boy in the oven and let it roast for a couple hours. Take the time and use it wisely. If you've decided that you want to have surgery, the decision should have already started up here and it should have been implemented into your lifestyle with making the changes that you can change. If I know I like to eat a 10 piece at KFC every other day and I say I want to have weight loss surgery, I need to go ahead and give up that 10 piece. Not saying I can't have 2 pieces every once in a while, but I'm not going to be going to the max like I was going before. I know once I made the decision, me and my best friend used to have we used to call it Fat Girl Tuesday, where we would go to the Chinese buffet and we would just shut it down. We shut it down. We had to group that count. But I told her, I was like, I'm going to stop doing Fat Girl Tuesdays. And she was like, well, that's our thing. I'm like, well, we can find something else to do. And what we started doing, because I'm off on Tuesdays, we still spent our time, but we spent our time doing something else. We would meet at the mall because at 10 a.m. they would allow people to come in and walk around the mall, like basically for exercise before the store opened. So instead of having Fat Girl Tuesday, we started to do Fat Girl Walk. And together we lost a couple pounds. So take advantage of the time before surgery. Don't wait until you're in it and now you're forced to make a decision. Start to do it willingly and get yourself used to being different and making a lifestyle change so that after surgery, it doesn't feel like a burden. I've watched some videos and I've heard people complain about, oh, I can't do what I used to do, and I'm just having a bad relationship with food and all sorts of stuff. Start to fix that relationship ahead of time. Like a lot of people go through fear before surgery and they think that it's the fear of, trusting somebody with your life. And sometimes, yes, that is a legitimate fear. That is a real fear. But for me personally, my fear was not um the surgery itself. My fear was for change. We are creatures of habit. And anytime you take me out of that comfort zone and you tell me I have to do something different, I don't know what that is. Something different than what I've been doing my whole life, it scares me. So I had to break that habit and break that strain on my life that had me in funky, jacked up habits. So take advantage of the time. That's all I want to say. I'm not keep saying it, but because it's so important, take advantage of the time that you have before you are actually in this thing, and get ready, get ready, get ready. In my TD Jake's voice, like get prepared, get your mind around it, get your heart ready. Anything that you need to do is talking to people in your family. A lot of people say my family's not in agreement with this surgery, but also I listened to how a lot of y'all didn't tell them you was about to have surgery until you was about to have surgery. The day I knew I made up my mind, I sat my family down and I talked to them. I was like, look, y'all ain't gonna agree with it. Maybe y'all will. Either way it goes, this is what I need to do for my life, and I want y'all to know so that for those of y'all who love me, even if you don't agree, you can pray for me. And for those of y'all who see me slipping, I want you to blow the whistle. I don't want to get in this and become a failure. I want to take advantage of the time. I want to get myself together so that when I get my tool, I'm fully equipped on how to use it. That's like you giving me a power tool. I ain't read no manual. I ain't got ready to use this power tool, so I'm sitting here with this drill like, oh, what am I doing with this? But take the time, use the literature that you get from the facility, Read over it. Make it ingrained into your very fiber, into your psyche, into your mentality, the way you think, so you can change your relationship with food, and so that you can not only rock this, as Miss Free Spirit says, but what? Make it your bitch. So, yeah, okay. With that said, I'm at another 15 minutes. Dang, I did 30 minutes of video today. I'm sorry, y'all. I just had gifted gab all the day long, but I'm going to cut it here and I'm going to, lock it down. I'm going to put it in my pocket. I'm going to save it. But thank y'all once again for taking time listening to my mouth just ramble and go on and on and on. And good luck on everyone's surgery, pre-oppers, post-oppers. And like I said, I love hearing from y'all. Thank y'all for all the comments and all the support. If you have questions, anything you want me to talk about, discuss, bring to the forefront, blow the whistle on, put on blast, let your girl know. And until then, I will talk to you later. Mwah.